So one of us said something that didn't age well.
I'm gonna be
It's
coming.
15.
Wrong clip. Wrong clip.
I think we're gonna hear about it. It's either Summer Games Fest or the Xbox event. Genuinely, I think it'll be there. I believe that next time I do a Silksong news in the next episode, it will be telling you a release date. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Across the Pondcast. It was a big week for gaming this week, hence the 2 episodes. This time, in this week 10 part 2, that I'm probably just going to call episode 11 anyway, we have the Summer Games Fest and the Xbox event to go through. So, with no further ado, I'm Aiden.
I'm Stan.
And let's get into the news. Okay, so my plan, which means this is what we're going to do regardless of whether Stan wants to or not, is to just go through them in order, because that way it's easier for me to edit.
Yeah, that's fair. I've got. Well, I'm gonna be 100% transparent right now. This is gonna be if you like this guy, which I do personally, but if you like this guy over here, hey, this is your week. This is the time for you. This is what you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
He already messed the intro up, but that's okay. We're not gonna worry about that.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
I didn't mess up the intro.
We were supposed to explain that cutaway.
Get into that later. Get into it.
Okay, so we're only gonna mention it once. All right. Well,
I'm gonna put
go ahead.
The clip of me talking about. So you've seen it. You've seen the clip. Never mind. I'm putting it in. Okay, so
All right.
Summer Games Fest. I'm just gonna get right into it. We start off with Mortal Shell 2. This is very music oriented, very in sync. It looks, it's the sort of blind violence Doom kind of take on things. It looks cool. I'm not gonna lie. It is blatantly just violence for the sake of violence, but sometimes that's cool, and sometimes we need to accept that that's just cool. Sometimes things can just be sick.
I mean, it gives a lot of like the same. We have all these dark themed games, and it's just another one of those. But this one's, I can't tell if it's just the trailer that's in 4K or if the game's supposed to be in 4K. It says something about 4K. It probably isn't even. It's probably 2K.
The trailer.
Not the company though. They don't make this game.
Imagine.
Could you? Like, ooh, that'd be rough.
The dark fantasy action game, it calls itself, by Cold Symmetry. Yeah, just looks cool. There's a beta at mortalshell.com. Doesn't say when. That's cool. I'll let you find out.
We love that.
Moving on to Death Stranding.
Have that tab.
2.
Check it every day.
Yeah, man. This is the Kojima game. It's Death Stranding, obviously.
Yes. Yes. Everyone knows Death Stranding 2, the beloved game Death Stranding 1, where you thought to yourself, do I like video games? Do I like doing things in video games? Or do I like just walking around in a video game? I could do nothing else.
Well, it's a narrative game, You never played Life is Strange and stuff?
Narrative. That's what we're narrative? Come on. I'll watch a movie if I want a narrative.
He doesn't get it.
Playing a video game to walk around. The most entertaining thing about this was a clip a buddy of ours posted about a hack for it.
I haven't seen the clip.
Oh, I'll send it to you later.
Great.
I'm not going to mention him by name so we don't owe him anything.
Yeah, so this was an exclusive clip we haven't seen before for Summer Games Fest. Another chance for him to bring out his good friend Kojima, as he often does. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. Death Stranding. I haven't played the first one. It doesn't really seem like my thing. I'm sure someone's very happy about this.
Oh yes, absolutely.
That person is
someone is on is just on one right now. Is so happy. Definitely not complaining about anything else that might have taken place in the past 2 days.
Moving on. Chronicles Medieval World. I forget what this one even was, to be. Full disclosure, I watched the show as it aired, which as of time of recording was like 36 hours ago, so
yeah. And there, I mean, there was a lot. We're gonna be honest, okay? There was a lot here. There just wasn't, in my opinion, a lot of great things here.
I have a lot more praise than he does.
How it goes.
But you know, still some things. I don't know what this is. Even skimming through the trailer, it seems entirely cinematic. I still don't know what this game is.
I'm about to say I don't even know about the trailer, because where the trailer's supposed to be on the page for me, it's just loading a video about Elden Ring. So I don't know what that's about.
So yeah, Stan.
I'm watching Elden Ring gameplay.
Bad internet and a lack of an ad blocker. So again, this is my episode this week, baby. Next up is Sega coming in with the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, which is now that one's big. That one I will say is going to be enjoyable. Interesting that we're getting a Sonic Racing game and a Mario Kart game in the same year that both have World at the end of it. Now they did add an S for Worlds, but is it going to be open worlds as well?
No, it is not.
No, it's not going to be. Oh, well, that's disappointing.
The point is, though,
it does have something Mario Kart doesn't have.
So the gimmick is that you do 2 laps normally, and then on the 3rd lap, whoever's in front picks a ring to go through, and it takes you to a completely different world, cross worlds, right? That's the main gimmick. And then also, there's loads of crossover worlds that we're going to see. Last week, we spoke... Was it last week, or was it 3 days ago? I don't know. Last episode, we spoke about the fact that there were some leaks and saying that some of these worlds were going to be crossover IPs. There were going to be things like potentially SpongeBob and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here, they confirmed that we're getting Hatsune Miku, Joker, not the one you're thinking about, the other one, and Minecraft Steve. Miku makes sense. Miku is Sega, right? Joker is from what? Persona? I don't honestly know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, from Persona.
Is that Sega? Who makes Persona? I don't know. No, it's not. What? Obviously, Sega doesn't make Persona. Is Sega involved, though, somewhere in the chain?
I don't know. I'm looking for my Persona game to see whose name is on the bottom of the game. That's how I'm fact checking. Hold on. Let's see. What do we got?
Well, Persona's made by Atlas, but is Atlas owned by Sega? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just a partnership or something. I don't know.
Sega owns Atlas. Okay, that solves that one. Thank you, Google.
Wow. That was something I didn't know. So hey, look, I learned something this week. Did you know that Sega owned Atlas?
So that makes sense, right? Those two make sense. Both of those have ties to Sega. And then we move on to Minecraft Steve. Where is he coming into things? Where does Minecraft come in? What?
I don't know, honestly. And the fact that this was not on the, well, I guess Minecraft's not necessarily Xbox, but it just feels like an Xbox thing to announce this there instead of it.
It's a Microsoft
Summer Game Fest
thing. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not exclusive though.
No, but what is on the Xbox?
Which nothing is, because everything's an Xbox. This podcast is an Xbox. Everything's an Xbox now. So. Matter of fact, I was playing Halo on my headphones earlier, just because I could.
Does it run Doom though?
That's my fridge. No, I do that in the kitchen. Yeah. And it doesn't even have a screen. It doesn't need one. The dials work.
It lists the Minecraft things as separate thing. So I don't know if that's like a DLC or if that's going to be a launch. I'm not sure. But it's going to be there.
I'd use your Minecraft bucks and you can unlock it.
Get those mine coins,
Watch
baby.
them pull a Nintendo, and you have to have a certain amount of hours in Minecraft in order to play Minecraft Steve in the game.
Not a problem, my friend. Not a problem.
For some of which I'm not gonna play Minecraft Steve anyways, but I wouldn't even have the option.
I do want to point out, right? I don't know if this was intentional, but the way that Miku is revealed lines up very well with the old Snapcube dub that everyone memes on. When you play that over the top, have you seen those? Have you seen the Snapcube fan dubs?
No, but I guess I'm gonna have to watch one now. I was gonna say what's interesting to me is that they gave a release date of this game, but not a release date of the Minecraft world. So this game rolls in, pun, right there, rolling because cars. Rolls in September 25th of 2025, or the 25th of September 2025, or 2025 September 25th, depending on what country you're in and how you say this. That day. It rolls in, but then it says Minecraft World. There's no release date yet. Just the promise that it'll be drifting across dimensions soon. Whatever that means.
So yeah, I imagine that'll be a post-launch DLC. That's fine though.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
But like, how post-launch? Like, we talking 2026?
That is a good point.
Or like Christmas?
I don't know.
Because
I guess we'll
are they
have
going
to
to schedule it with the next Minecraft movie? Because by then, Sonic Racing won't be a thing anymore.
You know,
because if I had to bet, it'd be one of these games where everybody picks it up and goes like, "Oh, this is better than Mario Kart," or yada yada, and that'll last for like 2-3 weeks, and then nobody will play the game again, and they'll take the servers down.
So, the servers are still up for the last one.
Yeah, I was just talking about more recent things, multiverses.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
And I think the appeal of Sonic is that it's cross-platform, right? That's why most people play it. Also, it's just a different style of racer. It's not technically a kart racer. It's very similar, but like it's ever so slightly more realistic in its physics engine. It's just a bit of a different experience.
I take a bit of an issue with it because, like, I could see Mario, Luigi, and them needing a ride or whatever. But Sonic is so. Why is he in a car? Why is he in a car?
So that was always the argument as to, because that's kind of what they did in Sonic Riders. Was there were bits where Sonic was just running. And every time one of these Sonic racing games releases, people always say, you know, why does Sonic need a car? But
good point. I agree with them.
Yeah.
Why?
But yeah, so now they're bringing back the main gimmick from Sonic Riders, which is the extreme gear stuff. Maybe we'll see Sonic running. I doubt it. It's a kart game. Like, stop thinking about it so much and just enjoy, you know?
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Depends. Is it going to be $80? Because if so, that's a no.
No, it's...
I'm not falling for that again.
I think it's 70. I think they confirmed that. Which is still maybe a bit much.
Yeah, wait. I wonder if it's going to be 70 on Xbox and 60 on PlayStation. Because they still haven't raised their prices. I'm going to sneak that in anywhere I can, man.
I do want to take this opportunity to defend a random scene in Sonic 3, the movie, because I've seen people complain about this, right? People are saying, to this point of why does Sonic need a car, right? There's a scene in the movie where Shadow rides a motorcycle, right? And everyone says, you know, why does he need to ride a motorcycle? This scene is the foreshadowing to Shadow's new abilities of being able to power machinery. because you see him supercharge the
foreshadowing.
bike. Okay. You see him supercharge the bike, like that's why it's going faster. That's what it's there for. It's also just fanfare because obviously the bike's from Shadow the Hedgehog, but there was a reason. It's not just
right.
Okay, anyway. End of Abyss. No, I'm skipping ahead. Code Vein 2. Forget I said that. Code Vein 2. Gothic-esque Souls-like. If this is what I think it was, it looked kind of cool. The graphics were a little strange to me because it was trying to mix between Gothic and like anime, which is, I don't know. It could be done. I feel like
unique. We'll go with unique.
Unique. I feel like the character designs don't quite match the background and environment designs.
Yeah. It looks like they're on a green screen, which is not a good thing to say about animated characters.
Yeah. They look like they've been...
You'd think an animated character in an animated environment would kind of mesh, especially when they were designed, I'm assuming, together. Like, did they have two different studios working on it? It was like, hey, you handle the characters, you handle the environments. And then they just were like, all right, merge them, ship it.
I mean, this is a sequel. I will admit, I didn't play the first one, so maybe this is an established
Didn't know
thing.
the first one existed.
Me neither. But, it's a Souls-like. It looks kind of cool. If this is up your alley, enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be playing it personally, but I can see the appeal. End of Abyss.
I've got so much on my list, so I don't
much
think I'll
on
get
his
to it
list,
either.
man.
Like, yeah.
I've seen the list. Long list.
It's a big list.
This,
long
I
list,
believe,
yeah.
is just another cinematic trailer. I forget what this was.
Looks like it. It says it's a moody, atmospheric action-adventure game where you're on a mission to investigate disturbances of an unknown origin that spirals into a harrowing descent, not that Spyro, through a broken and abandoned world.
So it says Spiral.
I said spirals. Yeah. But I said, look, I tell jokes sometimes. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. That's the risk you take, okay? That one, not that good. But I rolled with it anyways, all right? Someone probably laughed at it, and I'll take that one, even if it was me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Glancing at this, I'm not seeing what it is. Give us gameplay.
Like we said, there's going to be some things that we'll tell you about them, and if we give you a little bit and they sound interesting, maybe it's worth checking out. I
think
you're going to have to do that anyways. You can't fully take our word.
This is, I think, to the point of.
I know we're good looking, but
stop giving us so many cinematic trailers for everything. Just show us the game. Like.
That is a good point. Like
I can't see what this is from the trailer.
If you can't show me what I can do in the game, like what is it going to look like for me? I'm not invested at all. I have no reason to be invested.
There is a place for cinematic trailers, but like, come on, man. When you're announcing the thing, really?
Yeah, a place for cinematic trailers is like 3 years before you want to release it.
Yeah.
Anything less than 3 years, and I should be seeing some gameplay.
The only cinematic trailer I've ever actively enjoyed was that one Arkham Origins one. That was more of a story. It was setting up the story, and it was like an extended,
that's just a Batman film.
Yeah, exactly. It was just a really well animated.
It's a Batman short story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look behind you. There's a reason why you liked that. Gotham.
He's behind me, isn't he? Mouse PI for hire.
Oh, yeah.
This actually looks really sick. I'm excited for this. If I actually skip to where the trailer is. Yeah, here we go. This is the because Steamboat Willie entered the public domain. I heard about this a while ago.
Right. This is what happens when you don't try to take a character and just turn it into some cheap slasher film.
Yeah, this is what happens when you give it a couple years and someone actually makes something cool. Because this looks awesome.
Yeah. Where's my Winnie the Pooh for hire?
Exactly. This is literally it looks like Doom again, but it's Mickey Mouse. And genuinely, this looks really cool. It's like first person.
Yeah.
It's an FPS. Out later this year on PC, via Steam, on Switch, and current and last gen consoles. This looks awesome. I'm gonna keep talking a little bit just so that in the edit I can play the trailer and like actually show the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because
What's interesting is the last gen. It says for Switch and current and last gen consoles. So had the Switch 2 not just released, what would the last gen console for Nintendo be considered? Would it be the 3DS or would it be the Wii U?
Well, that's why they said Switch and last gen consoles, as in they're two separate things.
I know, that's interesting. I know that, but like, think about it. If the Switch 2 hadn't released, what would be the last gen Nintendo console? Would it be the 3DS or would it have been the Wii U?
That's why they listed it separately, because there's not last gen.
I know,
for
but
Nintendo.
I'm asking you. So you're saying there is no last gen?
Well, it would depend. You would have to be more specific.
Okay. I was just giving you time for your trailer.
Oh,
you're welcome.
It would have to be either home console or handheld. You'd have to decide. I would say if you had to pick one, I would say Wii U, because the handhelds are like their own thing. They never really.
Oh man, could you imagine this game on the Wii U? Oh,
it would probably
the 1930s cartoon looking. It would fit. It would nostalgia, man.
I mean, it's like
could have Jack Pepper.
I'd say new art styles are really nice. I worked on a demo a couple years ago now, with a very similar art direction, but it was a pixel art one. That was really fun to work with. So, Game of Thrones. Who cares?
Yeah, Game of Thrones is going to have a real-time strategy game that's out next year. When? Next year. That's when. So, yeah, hopefully it's, if it's anything like the TV show, then that means that it'll be good for a little bit. Then you'll question why it's still here. Then it'll end, and you'll have so many more questions left. So that's probably the best we can hope for. Honestly, they'll probably kill off some characters you don't like, or you don't like that they did kill them. They might do both. They might kill them off that you don't like them. They might kill them off and you didn't like that they killed them off. It's Game of Thrones. Who knows? So look, if you're looking, who is this for? Is this for people that watch Game of Thrones and also play video games?
Somebody.
Because like,
you say, what's the?
Because like, what gamer is sitting out there that's never watched Game of Thrones and is like, wow, look at this game. I want to play this Game of Thrones. Because I don't see it. Like, unless you're invested in the show, I see nobody picking this up. Which I'll give it credit. There were a lot of people invested in the show. A lot of people too invested in the show.
It's just an IP'd RTS, Whoever liked Game of Thrones, and also this is for already RTS players who happen to like Game of Thrones. They'll probably pick it up. And then they'll go back to whatever game they were playing before,
Yeah, it'll probably be as successful as any of the Walking Dead video games. It'll be talked about for a little bit, and then it'll disappear, and you can pick it up for $5 online anywhere.
To be fair, what's the name of that? Telltale. Their Walking Dead game did well.
Yeah. But that's not what this is, though. This is just, hey, we want Final Fantasy, but Game of Thrones.
Atomic Heart.
They have dragons. We have dragons.
Another sequel. Yeah,
a lot of sequels announced in this time period.
Yeah. It's an RPG. mostly cinematic
It
trailer
sure is.
again. I don't really see what's going. I don't know the IP. You're not showing me much gameplay. There's a tiny bit of gameplay, not much.
Yeah. They use the word retro-futuristic to describe the universe. So that, hey, there's something there. I don't know if that means buy it, but if you like the word retro and you like it in front of future, I don't understand how it's retro and futuristic at the same time. Then it's today.
Well, if you want to go super retro, then remember that before time began, there was the Cube. Here we have the Cube, a new MMORPG shooter. This, I remember, actually looked kind of cool. It's set in the Atomic universe, but it's like, I think this, I'm not going to say live service because I know that's a bit of a trigger, but I think it's like gonna be updated, or maybe they've just already made a load of different combinations of gameplay.
Okay.
It's an RPG, like FPS type thing. It looks cool.
Yep, and there's no release window for it.
Yeah.
So it's coming to PC and consoles. That's all we can give you. That's it.
Moving on. If you weren't sick of Marvel Rivals and you weren't sick of the Marvel Street Fighter Mortal Kombat thing I've already forgotten the name of, then here we have another Marvel game. Cosmic Invasion. This is the like side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's a retro beat 'em up Marvel Cosmic Invasion. We've met the next two characters of the. We've only seen 7 of the 15, but now we met the next two, and it's She-Hulk and Rocket Raccoon. So that's cool.
This does
It's
actually
also
look
coming to
pretty sick.
PCs and consoles this holiday. So
yeah, later this year. This does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
This, it's a retro beat 'em up. You've seen them many times before. That's why it's retro. But this looks cool. It looks the graphics, like I'm a sucker for pixel art. I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking the vibe of this.
It's very vibrant. I do like the colors that I'm seeing. It's very pleasant to look at.
I might have to check this out.
Yeah, that might be one that I'm not getting to it. Just being honest.
Onimusha Way of the Sword is a new gameplay trailer. This was it announced at the last state of, not the last state of play, the one before that. The last one that wasn't this week. We've seen it before, but
not sure. Yeah, we have seen it before, but it's
still looks cool.
It's the game. You have a sword.
Is this the one where they were really excited about the fact that they could show blood, or was that the other one? There was 2 very similar like samurai games announced on the same day, and this was one of them. I forget which one. They got really excited that because like Eastern
I don't know
ratings and stuff didn't allow
samurai games. I still got to play Assassin's Creed Shadows.
That's
so
true.
I don't know.
This looks cool.
It's a samurai game. Ta-da!
There are a lot of those lately, aren't there?
There are so many samurai games within the probably last 2 to 3 years. There are so many, and we're gonna talk about more before we're done with this.
But before we do that, let's talk about something I actually care about. Felt That Boxing World. Well, no, it's not called Boxing World. It's Felt That Boxing World Premiere. This is really interesting. Not only because it just looks funny, but because this is real-time rendered Muppets This is like actually, it sounds ridiculous, but on a rendering standpoint, this is actually revolutionary. This is such a niche specific thing that can now be animated and made to look like it's not. This is actually really cool. I know I'm, kind of fangirling a bit more than the majority of people would, because rendering is kind of my thing, if you haven't gotten that drift yet. But I'm very excited. Not only is it just really cool in that department, but it also just looks like a really fun game. The art direction is awesome. The comedy, it's, classic Muppet comedy, but with like an R-rated twist to it.
Yeah, it looks hilarious. Looking at I can't tell. I doubt we've got gameplay footage at this point, and this is just purely cinematics. But it
Some of
looks
it's gameplay.
absolutely
Is
hilarious.
that last
Okay,
scene
okay.
gameplay?
At the very end, you get a little bit of gameplay with a like health bar and stuff. That's pretty. That looks. Oh god, that looks so ridiculous.
Right?
I want to try it.
I mean, obviously, it's just Punch Out, but the way that it's done and the
Yeah.
spin on it and the take that they've made, I really like this. No release
Okay,
date
out
yet,
out
though.
of all the games that we've seen so far, I would even if it's just for a laugh, I would play this game.
Go wishlist
Well,
this
wait.
to remember it exists, because there is no release date yet, and we don't know if it's coming to
Oh
console.
yeah. Also, yeah, with it being just a digital, maybe not. Maybe I just lost all my excitement for it. That is unfortunate. Yikes.
Killer In. This is Cluedo, but made into a video game. All you really need to know. They go in a lot in the trailer and basically just explain the concept of Cluedo, which I guess they have to do because obviously it's not a Cluedo game, but
Yeah,
it's Cluedo.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Cover all your bases. Go ahead and explain it.
What are we got next? Arc Raiders. This hasn't been on my
Arc
radar.
with a C, not a K. Just to make sure we clarify that for everybody. ARC.
This wasn't on my radar at all. I'm not gonna lie. It looks kind of generic. Probably won't be on my radar much after this.
Yeah, it was announced in 2021, and I still have never heard of it. So until now, which should tell you all you need to know about it.
Dune Awakening. Dune's been getting pretty popular lately. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about Dune, really. This isn't my thing. I'm sure this is great for some people though. I can see the direction.
Yeah. I'm not really sure why. Like, it says it kicked off its early release earlier this week, and if the game is already out, why am I getting a premiere about it? I'm confused.
It's technically not out. It's when you like
yeah, people have to stop. People have to stop with this. If you have a release date, say for example, this one says the 10th. It says it releases June 10th. Okay, people are already playing it. Then it's released. All right.
Yeah.
It is whatever day they started playing it. That was its release date. If people can play it and you not want to sue them for it, then it's released.
That's
So
fair. Yeah, the deluxe and ultimate editions are already out.
Yeah, the pay to play the game early just for them to, because companies they have a set. First of all, stop buying games to play them early. They're broken. They are broken early. They're broken when they actually release. So just save your money and buy the game when the game says it's releasing. No, there's no reason to pay extra to play a game earlier than other people, because they're not paywalling you to be able to play a game early. They're paywalling everybody else that's going to have to play the game late. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't ready to release it by the time they're giving it to you, then they just wouldn't. So, like, You're not going to get the day one patch till it actually releases. So you're just going to be playing a broken
Yeah,
game.
that's the day 6 patch, my guy. You gotta wait.
Yeah.
Speaking of time, however, Chrono Odyssey calls itself a
Yeah, okay.
next generation action MMO RPG. This looks really sick. This is they say, next generation. I'm sure everyone says that, but it's it's UE5. It's very large world design. The visuals look sick. It's an RPG, an MMO RPG. So if that's your cup of tea, which I think it could be my cup of tea if I had the time. I don't. I have.
Yeah.
I'm employed. I got bills to pay, but if it wasn't for that, I could be into this.
I would say it's we were talking about there's a lot of samurai games. There's a lot of MMORPGs. There's so many of them.
There've been a lot of RPGs. I think this is the only MMO I saw.
Well, yeah, it might be. Because, yeah, I guess you're right. They all boil down to being almost the same thing, though.
Well, a
I hope
few
I
of
upset
them.
somebody
Yeah,
with that.
to be honest.
Tell me why. Tell me why I upset you with that.
Comment down below how Stan just pissed you off.
Yeah.
This one looks cool though, because the combat specifically is based on time mechanics, hence the name Chrono Odyssey.
Oh, so you mean like in Breath of the Wild when you could like freeze things in time and then launch them?
Yeah, kind of.
Or like in Tears of the Kingdom where you could reverse time? Or Mario Kart World where you could reverse time? Not on online play though.
Kind of. It's going to PC via Steam and PS5. No mention of Xbox, weirdly. No mention of Switch or Switch 2.
Yeah.
It's weird that nothing really said Switch 2 that I can think of.
It is weird. Like I don't know if they just don't have the ability to say it.
Maybe
if Nintendo is like, "Hey, don't put ours on anything. We're gonna announce it when we do our Switch 2 Direct or something."
Which, speaking of,
Or
there
if
usually
just like,
is a Direct in like June, July.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that
They're more likely
we're
gonna get another one. Yeah, we're gonna get another one that's probably gonna be mostly focused towards. This is my prediction here. We're gonna get one that's mostly focused towards third-party games. We're not gonna get in much Nintendo news, but we will get a lot more because that might be why a lot of these don't have Switch 2 branding on it, is because they want to announce their third-party games at their own thing.
Maybe. I think there'll be some.
If you see some of these games on that list, yeah,
there's a couple months that are a bit
it's wild
in terms of first party.
It is wild that all of these are releasing now, and like they'll say Nintendo Switch, but none of them say Switch 2. And you could say, oh well, they're just saying it like this or that. No, because they say PS5, they don't say PS. So that there's a reason. We don't know what it is, but there's a reason why they're not saying Switch 2 in all of these.
Yeah, maybe.
So
I think it's just timing, because obviously the event premiered like 2 days after the Switch came out, so it might have just literally.
They might not have wanted to tell all of the people, because then you've got everybody that's involved in this knowing the Switch 2 or whatever, because this has been planned for months. So Nintendo is very leak protectant. So
very true. Well, here we have another RPG, but this time it's Nickelodeon. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny. Stan can't watch the video right now because of his poor internet, but for those of you currently watching it on the screen.
Yeah? What about it?
This is a poorly made sprite game with bad animation. This I'm hoping that the poor animations in this trailer are just for this trailer, because the little snippets of like actual gameplay they show look alright, but like this little bit of
Yeah.
SpongeBob dancing, that looks like it's 4 frames. And I'm hoping this was just for this trailer and that this isn't like cutscenes or whatever.
I was gonna say there are quite a few things on this list here that we're looking at that they essentially fit in the bracket of mobile game. A lot of these things look like mobile games.
Yeah, this looks
So,
like, if it wasn't for the fact that the actual gameplay looks kind of smooth, we'll see. I would guess that this was because like when you're showing. Okay, when it stops being sprite animation and you're just doing like frame by frame animation for cutscenes, and it looks considerably worse than the frame by frame animation from the shows. Just take it from the shows. Like I don't know. Is that just me?
Yeah, it's just a GIF. It's just a GIF.
Yes, exactly. You're telling me there's not a single scene in the entirety of SpongeBob that has him doing a little jig that you couldn't have just put in there instead? Like,
there are several. There are YouTube videos of just him doing that. So
okay, I'm moving on before I get angry. Wuthering Waves 2.4. Is this another RPG? No. Embark on a journey that marks the start of every hero's tale. Wuthering Waves version 2.4 is coming on June 12th to PC via Windows, Steam, and EGS mobile and PS. Okay, so this
says version. This version 2.4. So this is just an update.
Yeah, this is just an update to a game neither of us have heard of. It's an
How come
anime...
Fortnite doesn't announce their updates here?
It's an anime. Yeah, you know, it's for the people who are playing. What's it called? I can't remember the name of the game. The Genshin Impact. It's for the Genshin Impact players.
Oh, so mobile game, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what this game is. Metroidvania Mio Memories in Orbit premiere trailer. Play as android Mio in this mesmerizing Metroidvania. This looks pretty cool. This looks like the sort of Constance type game, that being games that heavily took inspiration from Hollow Knight, but aren't quite. Looks cool, and if it has its own thing, I am more than happy for that to exist. But if it's just Hollow Knight but worse, then you see, Constance is cool because it has its own gimmick, right? It has its own like
this one loaded, and at about 8 seconds where it transfers 9 seconds to 10-second area, it looks like the little hornet guy from Silksong. Like it legit looks like that. So I mean,
I would have to find out.
Get that game out there. So
if it has its own identity, awesome. If not, you know, wind your neck in.
Yeah, hey, it is available now though with a demo. So hey, you know, if you're hankering for something, check it out.
I did play the demo for Constance, so yeah, I'll have to have a look. Lego Voyages. Yeah. We are starting to see more Lego games not developed by Traveler's Tales. Obviously, we already had a couple. We had the Horizon one, which was the big one. Now we're getting sort of smaller experiences not made by Traveler's Tales. This is the sort of It Takes Two kind of thing.
Could have just been released on Fortnite with their Lego stuff. There's so much Lego stuff in Fortnite.
I'm glad that this is its own game and not in Fortnite. Because this looks like it has its own...
My bad.
Well, this has its own physics engine. I would not want this to be stifled by the Fortnite Lego physics engine, which isn't anything special. This looks really nice. This looks really cozy. It's a multiplayer game. If you went, whoever you played It Takes Two with, or Split Fiction with, you want to sit down, you want to have a nice chill time. This looks like a cool game to do that with. This just looks nice,
Yeah.
just nice. It says it'll release soon across PS4, 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Again, no word of a Switch 2 release, but I'm sure it will be.
Yeah. Look, if you go to the very end of the video where it shows the logos, you can see there's room there for the Switch 2 logo.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be there.
Something going on there.
Mafia: The Old Country. Uncover the origins of organized crime in Mafia: The Old Country. A gritty mob story set in the brutal... Mafia?
Mafia?
Sorry, how do you say it? Mafia. Where's the O? It's Mafia.
There's an O and O. You pronounced that wrong. It's Mafia.
Mafia. There is no O in this word.
It's Ma. M-A, Ma. Mafia.
Okay, so
who's right and who's wrong? Leave in the comments below.
Most of our viewers are British. Last
I'm gonna
time
get someone
we checked,
to comment.
You're not winning this one.
Oh, man.
At least they are on the shorts. Shorts viewers, assemble.
Oh, God.
Again, no. I'm not seeing any actual gameplay footage.
They're gonna get me from the old country.
It's a third-person action adventure without any gameplay footage. Cool.
Yeah, which, lovely. We love that for us. As a matter of fact, you could say I was out of words, which is the next game. This is a stop-motion co-op platformer where everything has been crafted by hand.
So this looks just gorgeous.
Okay.
To start off with, this is a beautiful game, regardless of gameplay premise. But the gameplay premise also looks pretty sick. It looks very... Okay, those of you my age will remember a Flash game called Fireboy and Water Girl. It was huge at the time when we were in school. Stan's not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. But imagine that.
Not a clue.
With a budget. That's what this game is. And it looks incredible. I am so excited. I would love to give this a crack. I'm going to have to come back to this. It's coming to PC via the Epic Games Store and PS5 Xbox Series in 2026. So this is...
So no mention of Nintendo at all.
Yeah, which is weird, because this is the sort of game that would work really well on Switch.
You think this is what there's still space at the end though where those logos are. So maybe,
especially with the download play stuff.
Yeah,
would work really well, but I don't know. Maybe it's because
I would play
this.
I would play this. I'm being honest.
Yeah, this looks great.
Oh yeah, doing it. Well, I mean, you got tabletop mode, and each one of you takes a Joy-Con, too.
I love that that's just how we say it now. We've retconned it like they did with Mavity and Doctor Who. This is Joy-Con. That's just how it's said now.
Yep. Joy-Con.
Lies of P.
If I meet somebody in public and they say Joy-Con, I know I've made it.
Yes. That we need if only we could make merch out of that. You can't put that on a t-shirt because it's a pronunciation. Imagine.
Well, you could. It'd be Joy and then CUN. Joy-Con.
Joy-Con. Maybe, yeah.
They can't sue us for that, right?
Nah. Lies of P, Overture DLC. Did you like Lies of P? Would you like some more Lies of P? There you go. Moving on. Well, it's
More? You
interesting
want more?
because there's new difficulty options in the game, and it was shadow dropped, so we didn't get a release date. They just said, "Here you go." So it's out now. Enjoy.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I do like that. That's fun.
That is nice. What's next? Fractured Blooms. Tend your garden, cook your meals, and build your home in this time loop life sim. Tend your garden. This is the one that gets really creepy, isn't it? The days are repeating, and something has started to bloom. Sadly, we've no more detail than that other than the very curious teaser trailer, and it certainly got me intrigued. Yeah, this is the one that does the, like, what was that one game? I forget that there was a game featured around like a Baba Yaga character with like a bunch of food items that were all alive and they were like cursed and stuff. It reminds me of that. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, let me know because I would love to remember.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is.
So it's a cutesy farming sim that gets creepy. So I'm waiting for the game theory episode. It looks like good crack. Have fun.
Yeah.
Crystal of Atlan is a game I've never heard of before, but it is now getting a One Punch Man collaboration running from the 26th of June to the 26th of July. If you've played that game and you like One Punch Man, go have fun. I don't know what that game is though, so.
I don't either. I have no idea. But it's got One Punch Man, so that sounds interesting. Yeah, cool.
I'll let you take the next one.
If you like One Punch, check it out. Yeah. The next one, Jurassic World Evolution. Have you played that video game? Well, this is the third one. It's like the first one and the second one, but with a 3 behind it. We did not get much. We got there's not much here in the trailer that you haven't already really seen in a Jurassic World Evolution game. So I guess, if you like those, the first two, and, you want to see the dinosaurs just a little bit more realistic. I'll say the customization options are a little bit better. Like, you can terraform quite a bit more than you could in the previous games. So if that's what you're worried about in your, monster park sim theme, then, hey, this is for you. October 21st is the release date. I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to buy it. I bought the first two. So I'm probably going to. I actually have them on multiple. I don't want to talk about it. Look, me and my son play these. We have a good time playing them. They're entertaining. We forget what's going on whatsoever, and we just release dinosaurs out on the park to eat people. But it's a fun time. So, if you like dinosaurs, ta-da, new one. So that's cool.
I'll let you take the next one as well.
Oh, okay. All right. 7 Deadly Sins Origin. This is I don't if you know what 7 Deadly Sins is. I believe I'm right. It's an Amazon original anime, I believe. I watched it a couple years ago. It's interesting. Me and my wife watched it. We enjoyed it. I can't remember it, but I remember that I enjoyed it. So that counts for something, right? This is an open world RPG set in the universe of 7 Deadly Sins. You'll be the Prince Tristan. I'm not sure. I didn't watch the newer episodes where like they went into the fact that they had kids, so I'm not sure. But you get to explore Britannia and to restore order to a world. Honestly, this Britannia is a questionable place because every time something happens, it's like gonna end the world. So maybe they should just get that checked or move, perhaps. I don't know. They got something going on, but it is going to be later this year on PC via Steam and PS5. So no Xbox for this one either. Funnily enough, I do own it for PS4. The first game, or I say first game, one of the previous games. I haven't played it, but I own it. So So I wonder if it's a PlayStation like. Is it just not on Xbox? Because I wouldn't know. But yeah, it's the trailer. I mean, it looks like a animated RPG game. If you like Seven Deadly Sins, check it out.
Yeah. Meat of the Hollow.
I think the next one's
This
more
is
of yours.
exciting. Yeah, I'll take this one. This is from what are they called? Clubhouse Games? The Shovel Knight people. Yeah, it's
right.
Top down. It's the 2D sort of action adventure, very retro-esque. Looks really cool. Everyone's been really excited about it for a long time. It's been in development for yonks, and yes, that is a metric measurement. I had picked this on our so we have a fantasy critic thing with a few of our friends. It's hosted by our good buddy Jacob. Link Jag, if you'd like to check him out. I had picked this in our first run of games, and then we went like 3 months with no word on it at all. So I dropped it in favor of Constance, or it might have been Unbeatable. I dropped it in favor of a game that had like a definitive 2025 release. And then like a week later, which, to be fair, on me, probably should have waited until after Summer Games Fest before dropping anything. But yeah, like a week later, we get a new trailer and a release date for it. So I'm gonna have to try and get this back.
And a demo the day of.
And
so
a demo,
like,
yeah. So yeah, this looks cool.
You could have actually kind of cheated a little bit and seen if it was going to be good or not.
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks pretty sick. Go try it out. The next one angered people all over Reddit, so no one really cares. But you know, a few people on Reddit were upset, and that is terrible. So basically, you saw it, okay? You watched the show. Jeff gets handed a piece of paper, and gets told to skip the Silk Song trailer in favor of this one. It's a little meta joke because it's a Deadpool game. They announced a Deadpool game.
Yeah. For meta. So that's even better. It's a meta joke for the meta quest.
Yeah.
So much meta.
So yeah, a lot of people were quite upset about this because they name dropped Silk Song and then didn't show anything about Silk Song. We do have Silk Song news later.
That was it. That was,
but not for Summer Games
First
Fest.
And last thing you heard.
Yeah.
Of Silk Song for Summer Game Fest. It's such. I was watching several streamers that were streaming the event. You know, because I do that. So what? I don't ask you what you do. But I was watching them, and they said Silk Song, and nobody saw that. So at a point, I thought that I made it up. I thought in my head that they didn't say Silk Song because I watched the rest of it. They never mentioned Silk Song again. So I was like, no, I must have just been wanting to hear things because this guy over here keeps talking about Silk Song, baby. So it was just stuck in my head. But no, it turns out they actually did say Silk Song, and then I forgot they said it or lost the footage. I don't know what happened, but that was it. That was all we got. Waste of my time.
I do have some thoughts. So it's a VR game, right? Which is immediately somewhat disappointing, but also kind of not. It's disappointing in the fact that not a lot of people have a VR, like just in general. Right. Also, the fact that it's a MetaQuest 3 and 3S exclusive, which means not only do you have to have a VR, but you need this specific VR to play the game.
Yeah.
Kind of disappointing. It is good in the fact that this medium is getting more attention and more big IPs, which will hopefully lead more companies to invest into it and make it better and more accessible. But until then, it just means there's some really cool looking games that most of us can't play.
the interesting thing is though, sticking so narrowly to it is for the MetaQuest 3 and 3S. Like you've limited your sales output so much.
So that is
Like,
because Meta helps. They've been doing this. They help fund the game, and in return, it becomes exclusive. So realistically, these
wow.
games wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Meta exclusivity, because no one would have funded it. They needed the money to make it. And also, this means that they can optimize for one system way easier to do, especially with VR. It's newish. It's not new technology, but in terms
Well,
of like vast
this is
development.
two. This this is the 3 and the 3S though. That's two different systems.
Yeah, but the 3S is
And both of them are an Xbox, okay?
So I will say that this plan that Meta has to get people to enter the VR space using their VR is working, because they now have exclusive rights to Batman and Deadpool in terms of games that
That's pretty
actually
big.
exist. So yeah, if I ever was to buy a VR, it would be this one, because they have Batman and Deadpool. But I'm not gonna buy a VR, so ultimately it's mildly disappointing, because the last Deadpool game, the last actual Deadpool game, was for the PS3. There's been games with Deadpool in it since, but like the last actual Deadpool game was for the PS3, and it was such. They lost the license to print it, so it's really hard to get now. You can't buy it on Steam anymore. The PS4 copies are like £80 used, because there weren't many of them.
I'm about to say I've seen it like Xbox 360 and PS3. I've seen it physically, like in the wild, and it's actually not that expensive. It was for a little while over here. It was really expensive. Like you'd have to pay $80 to $100 to get it. Now you can get it for like $20.
The PS3 Xbox 360 version isn't as bad, because there were more of those. They printed those for longer before they got shut down. They got really expensive when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, and they've since trickled
I've
off a bit.
not checked the PS4 version, so I don't know what that would go for.
From last time I checked, probably about a year ago, so to be fair, a lot could have changed. They were quite dear. Dying Light.
Yeah.
Another one. They all look the same to me. Maybe I'm just being
it's Dying
ignorant.
Light. I mean, I'm sure there are differences in one way or another, but yeah, it's Dying Light. If you liked the first one and were disappointed by the second one, which most people were, then maybe this one will save it for you, or maybe it'll just further your hatred for this company. I don't know. Best of luck to you, whoever you are out there. It'll be coming August 22nd to PS5, Xbox Series, Steam, and the Epic Store. So, get that while it's hot, because August it'll still be hot in August. Is what it was. It was a joke. See, the joke's funny because the temperature is higher, and therefore it's hot.
Mixtape. This looks cool. I really like the art direction. I don't know what the actual gameplay is.
The gameplay is it's actually, I couldn't tell if the like skateboarding and stuff was actual gameplay, or
Maybe.
is that just cinematic?
Is this
Okay, it looks like you've got some walking in gameplay. There might be some gameplay.
the toilet paper kind of looks gameplay-esque.
Yeah, the toilet paper.
It's a teen narrative game, any Life of Strange fans. That's come up twice today, weirdly. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks interesting. I'd be willing to check it out. I'd want to know more about it, because right now we don't know much. But coming soon.
Yeah. Also, it's set to release this year, 2025. Xbox, PlayStation. It does not It weirdly says PlayStation, but then on the screen it says PS5. So,
Yep.
assuming current gen, not previous gen. And again, no mention of Nintendo.
Yeah, weird.
So, that's just another one.
Tower and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. It's a roguelite, hack and slash.
That we got no gameplay footage of.
There's a little bit.
Or no, we got. There's just a little bit right there.
A cool bit.
That's like 5-10 seconds.
Yeah. If you like roguelites, this might be for you. I don't know if this is an existing IP.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of it before. If it is,
I have not either.
Or yeah, it looks
Comes out
interesting.
September 19th.
I like the character designs.
It is on Nintendo. Yeah, it looks. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but
I would want to know more.
I don't know.
Hopefully, we find out.
Once
more.
again, we got this whole tree theme again because it's the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. Like what's with the trees? And Lorax out here.
Axe of Blood.
All right. Yeah.
This is the
Axe of Blood.
Dude made his first Unreal project and then just kept making it for like 6 years. So, I mean, like it's polished to the point where obviously there's a lot of time been put in this, but you can still see the roots of like this is a bare bones basic. I'm assuming it's Unreal Engine.
It looks like if you've seen those like zombie survival puzzle game ads that you get sometimes. If you've seen those and you were like, what would happen if I gave somebody a budget and was like, make it to where I could spin the camera around?
Yeah, it's
this kind of what it looks like. Yeah.
I don't have huge hopes. I would check it out again because the combat looks interesting. It looks
honestly
free flow-esque.
It's only a Steam game, so that doesn't interest me. But like, if this is a game that releases at like $29, it's at Steam.
Wow. This is the sort of game I would expect to be like an Epic exclusive because they helped the guy make it with I don't know. Apparently, it is going to Steam. Yeah, it just said that at the end. But yeah, it gives me those vibes.
If this is like a $29 game, maybe it's worth it, see what the reviews are, see if people are enjoying it or whatever. But if it's anything more than that, just save your money. Wait till it goes on sale. If this is your type vibe, just wait. Just wait.
Well, you should spend it on instead if you do like smacking zombies, robots, and vegans. Is Scott Pilgrim EX, the new Scott Pilgrim game, and it looks pretty sick. Maybe I'm biased because all the games I've liked have been side-scrolling pixel art games. Don't question it, all right? Shush. It looks really cool. I really like this. I will definitely be checking it. You can wishlist it now. So let me write that down. Let me write that down right now.
Yeah.
Let me get
write it down. Write it down right now.
A fresh post-it. Let me fresh post-it. I'm gonna write down Scott Pilgrim, and you all just have to watch me do that.
For 2026, so next year.
Yeah, no time soon. But this looks awesome. I'm very hyped. I will be checking out. Hopefully, there's a demo at some point.
Happy for future, Aiden, I guess.
Yay! The First Descendant Season 3 Breakthrough will launch on Thursday, the 7th of August. What is The First Descendant? Do you know?
I don't. You said Season 3, and I was assuming it was like a TV show, but it's saying that I don't know. It says Season 3 demo comes out the 24th of July, so it's not a yeah, I think it is a game, but I will say
it's a game, yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to want to put this one on screen, I don't think. You might have to be careful with that one because there's a
They put it
There's
in
a
a
section.
YouTube video. I can show the cleavage.
That's my dude. I can see your belly button. That's.
I'm just gonna plant your face over it.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Why? Okay, they got jiggle physics too because when she's on the bike.
Of
Okay,
course.
all right. I know who this game is for.
The Genshin Impact player, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking
There's
of Genshin
a battle
Impact
preview,
players
something.
scum, mark your calendars, fellow scumbags.
Yeah.
Apparently people
Full
have
release
been
of Scum is finally here.
waiting for this. This looks very...
I like how it's a censored trailer.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
This looks like Untitled Goose Game meets like GTA.
This looks like a VR game. They forgot to put the VR in.
Yeah, to be fair, it's those kind of models.
You're playing it first person. But like what? It's for someone. Not me, but for someone.
Speaking of GTA, former GTA producer Leslie Benzies has been working on a game called Mind's Eye. We've known about this for a while. Apparently, I did not.
Yeah.
But now we have. I think this is new gameplay. Not gameplay. New cinematic trailer. More cinematic trailers. I'm skipping through. I'm not seeing any gameplay.
It releases June 10th and no gameplay? That's so...
Hitman's gonna be the Agent 47 made a cameo at the end, MCU style. Yeah. We don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
we just know that Agent 47 is involved some way. But in the vein of Hitman, there is a World of Assassination event going on right now. They shadow dropped it and it's going on for about a month, I think. So get on it if you're going to. I don't know how to pronounce this. The villain from Casino Royale, Le Chiffre.
Yeah.
Le Chiffre.
That's what I would have done.
It looks cool. It's like it's an event, you know, in an already existing game. It ties in with them working on the Bond games. It's a cool idea. I'm glad they're doing it. I don't have the game, so I'm not going to play it, but
very unique, and if I had the game, I'm not making any promises, but like it would have been cool to see, I guess. But while we're still in the vein of Hitman, we also have a co-op mode. We have, it's also for World of, you know what? Maybe I should buy Hitman World of Assassination. Apparently, you got 3 different games inside one game. What better value can you get than that? The mode is still relatively under wraps, but it does feature 2 names you may recognize, Stone and Knight. These 2 popped up in the Hitman Sniper mode. Again, expect more news soon. So, yeah, you got new things in Hitman World of Assassination, and you could have even more later. So,
yeah. IO Interactive has been popping off. But more Lego games, more stuff coming from TT no longer having exclusive rights. It's Lego Party. This is quite literally Mario Party. Watching the trailer, this is Mario Party, but with Lego characters, which is cool. Some 8-year-old's gonna love this. I may not be that 8-year-old, but you know, they exist.
Yeah, I don't think you are. You don't quite make it there. So
I'm glad it exists though. I'm glad there's more stuff happening with the Lego license.
Yeah, of course. Legos, if there's anything Lego needs, it's more money. So
Wild Gate is a PvP multiplayer shooter that blends tactical ship-to-ship combat with fast-paced first-person action. It's coming to PC. So everyone who was wanting Battlefront 3, maybe check this out.
uh yeah, I mean kind of. I'll give you that. Like it's a bit more goofy than that, but yeah.
It'll scratch that itch for now.
Maybe.
There's an open beta going live on June 9th, which is the day we're recording this. So by the time you're watching this, it's out. Running until the 16th.
So if you're hearing this now, go check it out. Wildgate. It's free to try. Guarantee you, if you're watching it, it's either you're late or you're on time. You're not early.
Unless I can get this video out in the next 9 hours, but considering I've been awake for a very long time and I plan to sleep after this, probably not.
Even if you do, I'm sure it's already dropped. Like,
yeah.
plus you gotta wait. You gotta wait 3 hours for this to upload so I can send it to you. So.
Okay. Blighted. Battle your way through a psychedelic Western nightmare. You mean America? To reclaim the memories of your people in this action RPG from the creators of Guacamelee. It's coming soon to PC via Steam, and no mention of consoles yet. Yeah. Yeah, this looks cool. I was trying to see if it was all top down. There's like one scene that makes it look like it's 2D, but I think it might just be the background angle. It all looks fairly like top down. It looks pretty cool. Another RPG fans eating good.
Yeah, they are really well. I mean, they're knowledge-wise they are. As far as actual games, not so much. Like you're aware that it's gonna happen.
This looks cool.
Because it says coming soon, and then no consoles.
Yeah,
that's
the art direction is cool. It seems like the main character is like, I'm not gonna say they are hand drawn, but they look that way. They just that style, and then the enemies are more like, I don't know how you would describe. Like it's not clay, but like a CGI kind of plasticky. It looks cool.
AI.
Throw around accusations like that.
Well, I mean, everything's AI these days, right?
You're not entirely wrong.
Maybe I'm AI. How would you know?
Oh God.
How would you know? You don't know me.
Ill describes itself.
I'm assuming it's ill.
I think it's describes itself as a realistic first person action horror game that takes you to the dark fort overtaken by a mysterious, and it's zombies. It's called zombies, but with like a story.
Yeah. So it's Raccoon City.
Dismemberment system and realistic physics. You be the judge of that.
Yeah. I just watched him kneecap somebody. That was interesting.
Yeah, the ending shot of the like baby crawling towards me. Not a fan of that.
Oh yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know why it's called ill, because this was gonna make you.
Mecha Break. What is Mecha Break?
Yeah, go ahead.
Been a while since I've seen a mech game, to be fair.
I don't know. It's really? It feels like they're popping up left and right now.
I mean, maybe they're just not on my radar.
Yeah, they're just not releasing yet. They're popping up. They're not releasing yet.
It's
all we got is a lengthy cinematic trailer.
Yeah, no gameplay by the looks of it. Infinitesimals. This actually looks pretty cool.
Released July. Yeah.
This is like a Bug's Life type thing, but it's like a over the shoulder third-person shooter with the bugs.
Okay. Interesting. Tactical third-person combat. You must locate, rescue, and reunite your crew to rebuild your strength to bring the fight to hostile machines hunting you down. Coming 2026. So, don't get too excited about that.
It looks cool though. I like the look of this.
Yeah.
New Street Fighter season.
Yep. Yep. To get new characters coming.
I was never a
Someone in
big Street
summer,
Fighter
someone in autumn.
person, so I don't know who any of
Yeah,
these people
I
are.
don't. Yeah, me neither.
If you are the sort of person who would be excited about this Street Fighter announcement, you already know. So,
Oh yeah, you've known. You knew about the leaks. Like you've been checking on it. So I have no idea.
Last Flag. This looks pretty cool. This looks like a Team Fortress kind of thing. This is like it's a 5v5 shooter with show-stopping contestants set in a televised competition where strategy, teamwork, and chaos blend in the ultimate game of capture the flag. Hey, it looks pretty cool, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
I imagine
Yeah.
if
TF2 fully.
yeah, if this is free to play, I'm sure we will. If not, we might check out a demo or something. That being said, we did do that with Deadlock, and we both liked it so much we never launched it a second time to even play with each other. So I'm saying it'll become a huge part of the roster, but
I'm trying to think, did I even play Deadlock or did I just download it and open it one time?
I played it a little bit.
I'm not even sure. I know I downloaded it, but I mean that's like that other game. What's it called that lasted even shorter than that? What is it called? I still got it. Frag Punk. Downloaded it. I know I played it. I know I enjoyed it, and then I haven't played it since.
Fair enough.
Happens all too regularly.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, again, no actual gameplay. It's a Souls-like though, not an RPG, so released on console and PC, Steam, and Epic on the 24th of July, so it's out soon, which makes me wonder why there's no gameplay trailer. We move.
I mean, this looks like gameplay, just they don't have like health bars and stuff, so you don't have
the middle bit kind of
UI,
does,
but yeah. I mean, it just it's the fighting game.
The minute-and-a-half trailer, there's maybe 20 seconds of gameplay, and there's no UI on it. Okay, it's not my cup of tea anyway.
Yep. Going from Wu Chang to Wu Tang, Rise of the Receiver. The DC. Wait. The title says Rise of the Receiver. The video says Rise of the Deceiver.
It's Deceiver, I think.
Then
that's a typo.
Underneath the title, it also says who typed this up? Who is this?
Eurogamer, get your shit together.
Fire them. That's it.
Man, I sure hope someone
you want to deceive
for
somebody.
That blunder.
Receive this termination. Just go. Be gone. This is a co-op action RPG with anime-style fighting where players face increasingly challenging battle chambers to the tune of a reimagined Wu-Tang Clan tracks. Oh,
that looks pretty cool.
While decking out their own custom fighters. Say it with me. There's no firm. Who typed this? Stop it. Stop it. Okay? I hate that it doesn't credit you at the bottom of it like some other sites do. No, you need to be told firmly that this is just no. Stop.
Yeah.
It will be coming to PC, so and Epic. Or Steam and Epic. So enjoy that.
Into the Unwell. This was trippy. Did you see this? This looks like a really cool game, but the fact that it's all spurred on by like an alcoholism episode gives me very Conkers vibes. The
Oh yeah,
gameplay itself,
yeah.
though,
It's
very, very nice looking.
yeah. It does not look bad.
It's a
Looks
roguelite. It's like a 30s style cartoon, you know, but it's
yeah.
got that squash and stretch.
What now?
Squash and stretch.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
Taking
I would be excited to see more.
So far, we didn't get much more other than you can play alone or with up to 2 friends, and a closed beta is coming to Steam soon.
Very
So
nice.
sign up now. So if it's something that looks like you're into, you're gonna want to sign up on Steam now to get into that closed beta. Spoiler alert, I won't be there.
Splitgate 2. If you are the sort of person who would play Splitgate 2, you probably already know it exists. This is the Portal shooter.
And you've probably
thing.
already played it.
Yeah, probably. It looks cool. It looks very cool.
Because it released at the end of May, so I don't know why we're really.
Yeah.
This is
Probably
2 weeks
not
ago.
for me.
It's
I'm not
been out.
I'm not a sweaty enough guy to be playing games like that. But it looks pretty sick.
It's a free to play shooter, so
Yeah.
you know if you like free,
which we do like,
and
free.
playing and shooting. Dang it, am I gonna have to try this game? I wonder if it runs on the Switch too.
Yeah, that
It
in
doesn't
mouse
say.
mode.
It doesn't say what systems it's for. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Stranger Than Heaven. Another cinematic trailer with like very. I think the middle bit is gameplay, but it's like walking sim gameplay. A tiny bit
He's
of
kicking
combat.
people. And he decides to show him mercy. No, never mind. He clicked the other option. He did not show him mercy.
Yeah. Again, I don't really know what this game is. You know.
There was so much. There was so much. Yeah.
Looks cool.
And then that was it. As they promised, that was it. That was all the Summer Game Fest. There was nothing else that they announced at all. There was talk that we were going to get Resident Evil 9, but it's okay. They shut that down. They said that we're not getting that. They did not show us a trailer or anything. We believed them because they had no reason to lie. We have no reason not to trust them. So when they came out and they said Resident Evil 9, we're not talking about it. When they said that, we were like, cool. So right after Stranger Than Heaven was done, we were like, all right, that's it. We can go.
And then they showed Resident Evil 9. And
yeah. Like, why? You said Silk Song. Then you didn't show us Silk Song. You said you're not going to talk about Resident Evil 9. And then you talk about it.
I'll let you take this one.
What are we doing?
I don't really know anything about Resident Evil.
Okay, Resident Evil. All right. I am a little confused as to why it's called Resident Evil 9 and not 8. I'm not aware of a Resident Evil 8. There's 7 and then The Village. So I don't know what that's about. But Resident Evil 9 Requiem, we got a trailer. I don't think did we get gameplay for this? We did not. It's all that's a shame. So we see what it looks like though. It looks pretty.
It's
if
Resident
you've played
Evil,
any of the remakes for the other Resident Evil games, it's on par with how those look. It looks fairly decent. No idea what's going on here, but you are in Raccoon City, so that'll be interesting. I'm trying to be excited about it, but honestly, I'm just more mad at him for lying. So
fair. I would say that we've been going for an hour and a half, and that's plenty And we're at the end of this list, but we have another list because a couple days later there was the Xbox Game Showcase. So
yeah,
let's jump into this. This was shorter, but I think it was overall more stuff I was intrigued about.
I feel like there's more stuff here that's just better.
Yeah, so Outer Worlds 2, people have been waiting for this for quite some time. I get the impression. It looks pretty cool.
Looks great. It looks great, and watching, like, because I watched the full thing at the end, the presents thing for it. I'm actually, I own the first one. Surprise, haven't played it.
Okay.
It's a big theme here. A lot of games and no time. It looks great. I do really want to play it. I do really want to try this game out. I want to try the first one first, and then I want to play this one because it looks really good.
Looks really nice.
It is coming out October 29th. Yeah, October 29th of 2025 for Xbox Series X, S, PC, and PS5. I own the other one on PS4, I believe. Something like that. I can't remember. Yes, PS4. All right. So I'm gonna stay with it, get it for the PS5 more than likely, and I'll try this game out and see. But it looks gorgeous. Looks great. Mechanics are great. I would recommend. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Go watch the little present thing they did of it. It's really good. That's my opinion.
Obsidian.
The next one I know nothing about.
So Higher on Life 2, I actually have a little flex first. I already knew this was happening from friends of friends in the industry. But now I can actually talk about it because no one's breaking any NDAs anymore. Higher on Life 2.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Talk about
it. So, have you not even seen like the first Higher on Life?
Nope.
Okay, so the people who made Rick and Morty made a game studio called Squanch Games. Squanch Games made High on Life, which was a comedy, sort of weird, not psychedelic, but, you know, like a strange experience more than a game. It's like an interactive experience. Very meta, very, you know, if you've seen Rick and Morty or you've seen Solar Opposites and stuff like that, definitely that sort of humor. Basically, you're a guy walking around with a gun who talks to you. But the gun sounds like Morty because of just how these things have been done. That being said, Rick and Morty had to change its voice actors because of controversy with, I forget which one of the two it was, but one of them wasn't very cool. And I don't know if he worked on this, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I might have to look into that. But yeah, looks cool. First one was cool. Good stuff. Resonance, a plague to... Oh, sorry, hang on. It's coming this winter to Xbox, PC, and PS5. Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy. Got a cinematic reveal trailer. It's coming out next year. I don't really know. Again, it's just a cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
People be doing
it's
things.
Something.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Next,
all right,
so...
this is the big one. Can we get the drum roll? Oh, you're not gonna say it? Do you want me? You want me to say it?
I thought that's what you were asking for.
No, I was saying, I was doing it like a gesture. Like, can we get a drum roll? Blah blah blah, and then you know.
I thought you were asking for a drum roll so that you could come in, be like.
No, you were gonna you were gonna say it's No, you're not doing that. I mean, I could do it.
The ROG
I could say
Ally
it's
has teamed up
okay.
with Xbox to make an Xbox ROG Ally. I have been saying for quite some time now that Xbox's next step is to get into the handheld market. This is not how I expected them to do it. So I'm going to take credit for being kind of right. I thought they were just going to make a handheld, not put a button on someone else's and re-release it.
Yeah, not only that, they put it on a button. They put the button on a handheld that you could already play Xbox games on.
Yeah. Because
So
Xbox
you've done nothing here.
Xbox Anywhere thing that you could use.
Yeah,
it has
and,
a slightly different form factor. It has like actual controller grips on it instead of the. But even so.
Yeah, but other than that, like, what's the difference?
Interesting.
And look, hey, everybody complaining about the Switch price. This ain't gonna release for no $450.
That's very. The thing is, I don't know genuinely what the difference is. My best guess for this sort of situation would be, you know, maybe it's running a different OS or something. There was that stuff recently where like one SKU of a thing was running Steam OS, the other was running Windows. But the ROG Ally runs Windows and it's Xbox, so they're gonna run Windows. So what's the difference? I'd need to like look at specs
maybe just
or something.
Specifically the form factor.
Maybe.
Could be, yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
But the bigger news with this is something entirely different.
Yeah, so Silk Song news,
I'm trying to get you hyped
baby.
Man, you made the microphone cut out.
Silk Song news, baby. Xbox makes a handheld. Yeah, so the most Silk Song news that we got this week, you might have noticed the prelude earlier, where I noticed that last week I said, I bet by next episode we will have a release date. Most we got was like a few seconds of new footage because they use Silk Song to promote this ROG Xbox Ally malarkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
it was so we had the release day. We knew it was going to be after June 7th or something or another. We did the math, the 2 weeks or whatever. It said it had to be released after that. We knew that. And now this is they told us this is going to release sometime later in 2025, and that day one when it releases, Silk Song would be on it and ready to be played. They did not mention anything else about Silk Song. Nothing. Just that Silk Song will be able to be played on this on day one.
It has since been confirmed by one of the creators of the game on their like Silk Song Discord that the game is not tied to the release of this. When they say it will be available day one, they mean the game will already be out by then, and so it will be available day one on this.
Yeah. Which I mean, that's something, but at that point you have pissed so many people off over the last 2 weeks with this.
Yeah.
Just give us a release date and stop playing. Like,
I don't know what they're doing, man.
At this point, if people want to boycott Silk Song, I mean, I'd be on board because this has been some bullshit. Because he could have taken this opportunity to be like, you know what, that's on me. I'm sorry. You know, we've been playing around and stuff like that. Here's the date. Just do it that way.
There has to be some
because everybody
sort of
will know in 5 minutes.
There has to be something going on that's stopping them at this point.
Someone had to pay because it can't be PlayStation, it can't be Xbox, so it's got to be Nintendo.
Maybe my best guess at this point is that there will be a Nintendo Direct some point in June, July, like there usually is. or there might be another Nintendo event after the Direct or whatever, and it will be there. I don't know. Or they're just gonna shadow drop it, and they're not even gonna tell anyone. Because at this point, what else is there?
That's true. I'd say the only one. So the only PlayStation's the only one that has not said Silk Song. Actually, Nintendo showed the little Silk Song preview, and then Xboxes showed Silk Song playing on this, and then the Game Fest is where it was they said Silk Song and then never told us anything about it. So PlayStation is the only one that has not said anything about Silk Song.
But PlayStation just had a state of play, so nothing's happening there. If they had Silk Song, they would have said something.
I know, but it's so weird. Like each company has had an opportunity over the last 2 weeks because of everything that we've had happening, and no one has said anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
It's gonna be a mobile game, isn't it?
Maybe.
They're getting Google Play and iOS to get together to release it. It's gonna release along the next iPhone 18, whatever number they're on, 17, 6, whatever number. It's gonna release on that one.
I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. I don't have a release date for you like I thought I would.
For shame.
For shame, indeed. The Blood of Dawnwalker. We got a gameplay trailer for Blood of Dawnwalker. In it, we see what the game will actually play like. Apparently, I'm skimming through it. I'm not seeing much.
And to quote a friend of mine, it's Blade as a white boy.
Fair enough.
So, shout out to my friend.
Yeah. Vampire hunting.
That's pretty much it.
That is exactly what it is. It's a vampire hunting game.
It's called the Blood of the Dawn Walker, and you got a vampire that can walk in the daylight.
Yeah.
And he kills other vampires.
Yeah, it's just Blade.
Yeah. Like it's just Blade but older. Like
so unfortunately, we found out that Mugenics, the game about cats fucking and killing each other, isn't coming out this year. I bet you wonder where I'm going with this.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately we found that out.
That game...
I laughed when I found out.
That game was being made by a developer who originally started his career working on Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy, however, is coming out this year with a brand new game. Super Meat Boy 3D. They are finally joining the ranks of Mario and Sonic from the era of the 64. And honestly, I'm joking, but this looks really cool. This does look really sick. It's a 3D platformer.
I thought that too. I thought that was so hilarious. I was like, Mario went from 2D to 3D 40 years ago. And here, Super Meat Boy is just the next generation's Mario, I guess.
I mean, it looks really sick though. Like if I'm obviously going to be playing the footage on the screen. This looks so cool.
It's making me think of like Split Fiction looking at the trailer being played.
A little,
like that's the quality it's looking like here. It's not the realistic factors of it or whatever, but just looking at the aspect and how like everything, it's making me remember the little bit of Split Fiction I played because I do own that game. I did play that game. No, I did not finish it.
This looks really cool. It's coming early 2026. Coming to Xbox.
Yep.
PS5 and PC.
No Nintendo.
I imagine it will be coming to Nintendo.
Now that's interesting. But, yeah, I would think so.
Ninja Gaiden.
Huh.
4. There's another one.
4.
I haven't played any Ninja Gaiden games, so have you?
Yes, but it has been a while.
How do you feel about this?
I mean, I picked it on my games for our league thing.
Oh, did you?
So, yeah,
Well,
I'm pretty sure I did. I picked one of them, either this or the remaster. One of them. I mean, it's a ninja game, man. You're a
it's
ninja. You run
yeah.
around slicing and dicing. It looks like this one's if I can get this game footage to pull up really quickly.
It
It
is
looks like
actually gameplay, which is nice.
yeah, it looks like the older ones. So they were great games. The older ones are great games. So this looks like that, just kind of like brought into the generation of like the Elden Ring games and everything like that to be able to be compared to and stuff. So that's what I'm getting from watching this gameplay, and that's not a disappointment. So it does look good. It does look like it runs well, and it's releasing this year to Xbox Series X, PS5, PC. So that's cool. October 21st. So right after Pokemon releases,
Different crowds. I think they'll be
which
alright.
is a big deal. Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle gets story DLC, The Order of Giants. If you played the game, there's more of it now. Enjoy.
Yep.
Beast of Reincarnation.
It's available. Real quick to specify, the DLC is available on all platforms. The game wasn't originally, and now it is. And the DLC, you're not gonna have to wait. It is available on all platforms. Just wanted to throw that little part in there
That is
on the
fair.
4th of September when it releases. So now go ahead with your reincarnation. Reincarnate that what you were saying.
So this is a Game Freak game. Was just revealed. A
Oh,
third-person action game where you and your lovely dog take on all manner of giant, daunting-looking monsters. It's made by Game Freak,
so
which is
this is what
cool.
they do with all.
Yeah, why
That's what they
doesn't
do with all the
Pokemon look
graphics.
like this? Look at that!
Yeah. This game is gorgeous.
Is this a different Game
This
Freak?
is all the graphics they've been saving. Yeah. Like I don't get this cuz I mean, and people will be like, "Well, this looks too, the people are realistic and stuff." I'm not talking about the people. Look at the fucking grass.
I just
Why
mean
can't we have the
like
grass in Pokemon?
the frame rate. Nobody's clipping through the floor.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, looks cool. Another third
Yeah.
person action game.
I don't want to buy it, but it looks cool. It's coming 2026. So, and
Now,
also, it's made by Game Freak, coming 2026, Xbox, PS5, PC. So, not Nintendo? A Game Freak game not on Nintendo?
yeah, maybe not. I'm thinking it might be
That's
a
all
different
right.
division of Game Freak.
I'm thinking Game Freak might have sold their company at this point. Like, what is this? Like, did someone buy Game Freak LLC? Like, what's going on? I don't know.
So next up, this game looks really cool. And I may be slightly biased on that, but shut up. This is Clockwork Revolution. This is wow. This is a very British, very Cockney slang sort of gangster kind of thing. It's I don't really know what to say. It's lots of action, lots of shooting, lots of over the top wacky violence. It's like a kind of an FPS.
It kind of
like
makes me think of
Thief.
Borderlands.
Yeah, kind of. It looks sick.
Interesting.
And also,
Yeah, it does.
Clockwork Revolution, it's another game going into the sort of time dilation, time manipulation sort of gimmicks. We see him changing the past. We see him reversing time. Interesting
It's
stuff.
also not tied to a shitty movie in its universe, so that's good for it.
This looks cool. Yeah.
We no idea when it's coming out though.
No.
Nothing.
In due time.
It exists.
So probably next
We
year.
got a
if
5.5
not the
minute
year
video
after.
of it though.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is interesting.
Maybe next year.
Maybe this year. Maybe it's going to be a shadow drop of some kind.
Maybe.
Because that is interesting.
It is already June though. We'll see.
5.5 minutes is it's a lot of time to dedicate to something.
Yes.
Play it day one with Game Pass.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Grounded 2 is a sequel to Grounded 1, or as they called it at the time,
no way.
Grounded. The Great Grounded.
Is it a prequel to Grounded 3?
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it's more grounded.
Let's see how this one does.
It's grounded, but on a bigger scale, which is cool. If you liked the first game, you're gonna like this even more, probably. I didn't play the first one, but it is a cool concept. I wouldn't mind playing it. Looking at the gameplay, it looks interesting. Well,
Yeah.
not gameplay. There's little sprinkles of gameplay in it.
What we have.
Yeah. Chronos. Does it say when it's coming out? It's coming out 29th of July, 2025 to game preview. So it's not coming out then. There's like a demo thing then on Xbox and PC. Chronos The New Dawn. Time to get spoopy. Chronos The New Dawn got a gameplay trailer showing off some haunting third-person survival horror in a sci-fi setting. Looks pretty darn good to me, says this random interviewer on Eurogamer. It comes out autumn of this year to Xboxes, PS5, and PC. Another, third-person shooter action game kind of thing.
Yeah, of course,
Chronos makes me think time.
What else
is this also time gimmick? I'm skimming through it. I'm not really seeing what.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online, there's a new season. I didn't know they still did those, but if you play Elder Scrolls Online, have fun. That comes out on the 18th of June 2025. Right?
Oh, wait. Later in October, the game's first server-wide event with the world-changing possibilities will be coming too. Interesting. But what does that mean?
They're shaking things up.
Yeah.
Athlon. This looks exactly like one of the games we already talked about. Is this the same game we already talked about?
Which game?
Athlon.
Which game was it that we talked about?
Doesn't look like it. Don't. But it looks very similar.
It's a sci-fi game in which you must survive a dangerous planet you found yourself marooned on. It looks.
Keep talking.
The gameplay looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You basically just surviving wacky random things that are happening to you. That's interesting, I guess. From what I've seen, you're just trying to survive your own ship crash. That it's already crashed and it's still trying to kill you. So that's interesting. You can swing around like Spider-Man at one point. That's cool. I've got no context here on anything else really, but graphics look good. Game looks smooth. Look, if you know nothing about a game and you're like, hey, maybe I could try that. This is doing it. I wouldn't not try this game, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That is about it, man. I'm grasping here.
Scrolling through, I could have sworn we saw someone really small. Anyway, maybe that just means it looks generic as hell. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad. So
it is a game.
If it
No
releases for less
ghosts
than
at the
$50.
Grand. Yeah. Okay, no ghosts at the Grand. This is very interesting. Not only because it is once again set in the UK, but because it starts off, the trailer pitches it as like a cozy renovation game, and then it becomes like a weird, demonic, psychedelic sort of mystery horror game. And it's both. That's really cool.
Is this the one where the cat talks?
Yes. The only
Okay.
one you can trust is me. It looks really cool, yeah. You decorate and build up the village, you refurbish things, cleaning games, with mystery at its core. There's a lot more here than just the refurbishing and stuff. This looks really cool.
Yeah.
Again, waiting on the game theory. It comes out next year.
Coming 2026. So, a while.
Yeah.
Just waiting, you know? A lot of waiting.
Age of Mythology Retold, Heavenly Spear update. Real-time strategy, again. Is this like just a spin-off of Age of Empires, or is this just named similar?
That's a good question, and I could not tell you. It says a whole new Japanese. Oh wait, is being added to the game. Oh wait, no. So this is just a Heavenly Spear update. So this is something that already exists.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I don't know what that is.
It's got yeah. So I don't know. It's just an update of a game. So hey, if you know what this game is, you're getting an update.
Awesome.
It's about all that is there. So don't know what else to tell you.
I might skip a couple, man. A lot of these are very generic.
Yeah, some of these I don't know.
There's a Fallout fishing thing.
Nice day for
Solo
fishing, isn't
leveling. It? That's popular, right?
Yeah, I hear people talk about that all the time.
I've heard people talk about that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
It's a game. Solo leveling Arise Overdrive. You know, if you had to place any money on it, don't worry about buying it because basically every anime that gets made into a game sucks. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. So
Animo looks cool. This is a little grimbly little guy, kind of cutesy animal game. There's some fighting going on there.
Yeah, you just be a little cute little guy and you run around. I mean, what more would you want?
Then there's Tony Hawk. We've talked about that before.
We have
Gears of War Reloaded, Persona 4. The Persona 4 stuff is interesting because that was the stuff that kind of got leaked by Yuri Lowenthal, but now everyone's thinking that's like a marketing stunt.
Yeah, it is weird that you know, once again, games that people are looking forward to, they just won't tell us anything about.
Yeah.
So irritating.
I mean, Persona 4
Sea of Thieves season. Yeah. Sea of Thieves season 17. Look, if you after 17 seasons, if you're still playing, there's no news I can tell you. You can tell me what's going on.
You know.
Yeah, you're aware. You're probably already playing it. It's coming August 2025, but you're waiting now to play it.
Invincible versus.
Queued it up.
This is like a Mortal Kombat thing, but Invincible, kind of cool, kind of generic. Everyone seems to be doing Mortal Kombat at the moment.
Final Fantasy 7 remake Intergrade. You know what? With the name like this, it belongs on Xbox. It's finally coming to Xbox. And Final Fantasy 16 is joining it. Final Fantasy 16 is now available on Xbox as of the time that you're hearing this. I guarantee you, because as of the time I'm saying it, it is. So that's how time works. the 7 Remake Intergrade is coming to Xbox this winter, which also could be has the time that you're hearing this, because that's how time works. But yeah, so if you want to, if you like Final Fantasy games, but you own an Xbox, good news, you can play it there too. Do you know anything about Keeper?
It looks interesting. It's like a little. You play as a lighthouse. I'm intrigued by the art direction alone. I don't actually know what the game is about.
Okay. Weird that it's only coming to Series X and S and PC.
Yeah, it's a
so
Microsoft thing.
This is the closest thing to an Xbox exclusive they've got, I guess.
Keeper. 17th of October of this year. And then Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 was supposed to be the really big one last thing. I'm going to be honest, I couldn't give less of a shit.
Well, I mean, Black Ops 6 is still new. Black Ops 6 isn't even old. Now you're going to give us Black Ops. Nobody asked for this. No, who? Why? In order for something you should do is, pull a Ubisoft and realize that if you take time with your games, they'll sell better. And I'm going to be honest with you, releasing this trailer for Black Ops 7, if people have been waiting to buy Black Ops 6, because, not everybody buys the game the week it's new or the month it's new or whatever. They might wait 6 months. You've just shot that market down because you just released a video for Black Ops 7. You didn't tell us when, but you released the video. So now nobody wants to get 6 because they know 7's coming.
Yeah, no release date, but it's apparently a change from... The last few have been more like gritty, realistic ones. This one's going back to Mason, which I forget which Black Ops is which, but I played the older ones. This is going to be more like mind freaky TV static stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be weird.
I'm sure people are excited. And I don't really care.
I don't either. We did also get the... Phil Spencer saying that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that has been with us since the beginning. Now, of course, all of this is referring to shit we get next year, not this year, pompous jackass. But, yeah. So, I'm sorry, I'm just mad because of Fable. That's it. Fable's mine.
That's fair.
And they keep playing with me. They've been leading me on for like how you've been doing with Silk Song news. Yeah, I do Fable news, but I don't know that I'd make it through it with as much bolt as they keep putting me through. It just ridiculous. I was supposed to have this game years ago. We could have been on Fable 5 by now if they would have just released these games.
But that is it, man. It's been a long one today.
Yeah, that's it. Longest episode to date.
Last one was the longest one. This one's even longer, so enjoy.
Yeah, we're like Marvel movies. We're breaking the record every time.
Well, thank you very much
for
watching. If you
made it to the end,
which none of you did.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If you did, just
like, comment,
just say it.
Subscribe.
Put in the comments. Be like, I made it.
Ring that bell and whatnot.
Turn the bells on for notification. We only do this once a week usually, but this week was a twofer, and you'd know that if you had the bell on. But if you didn't, then you might not find this till a couple days later and be like, whoa, there's 2 of them now? So, yeah.
We will see you across the pond next time. Bye-bye.
Yep.